To avoid unfairness as much as possible, I will avoid answering the riddles from the book as I would already know how to solve it. I will be in the position of Naomi Misora, the FBI agent.
Naomi Misora. Heard that name before. So it's her. She's from the Los Angeles baby murder case. That's right. She was working under me.
July 22nd, 2002, a crossword puzzle is sent to the Los Angeles Police Department station. The killer sent the crossword puzzle to show the LAPD his intelligence and superiority, since they would no doubt be unable to solve the complicated puzzle. As he suspected, none of the officers were able to solve the crossword puzzle, and so they simply threw it away. L makes contact with me asking me to assist his investigation of the Wara Ningyo murders. L wants me to investigate the murders in person for him, as L usually takes on cases with much higher murder victims. This case is personal to him as he suspects the murderer to be from the orphanage he grew up in. He also requests that I destroy my laptop after his message has been completed. L retrieves the crossword puzzle from a reliable source and gives it to me. Hidden in the crossword puzzle is an address, 221 Insist Street, Hollywood, which is where the first victim of the case lived, believed bridesmaid. I would be highly suspicious of L at first, wondering how he managed to access my laptop in the first place. In order to do that, he might have access information from the FBI that also connected to me. So this means L must have some connections with the FBI. L is considered the best detective in the world, so there might be some level of trust in him based on that title alone. But we don't know yet how he operates. If he thinks it necessary, he might sacrifice her well-being in order to solve the case. In terms of the murder, I would find the victim's name suspicious, as it's a very odd name. I personally wouldn't know anyone to have a name like or similar to it, so the name of the victim could potentially mean something. The other thing I would notice about their name, other than its apparent uniqueness, is that the initials are B. This could be the initials for another location as well, or perhaps the killer is only killing people with unique names that also have the same letter initials. Though there are plenty of people with same letter initials, this still narrows down the potential targets the murderer might target next. There might be a chance we can predict which person the murderer will go after and catch him.
Although the only contact I've had with him was following orders through a computer, he might remember who I am. You see, I worked under him in a case in the US about 2 years ago.
Are you serious? You worked under L?
Yes, I didn't tell you this, but up until 3 months ago, I worked as an FBI agent.
9 days later, believed bridesmaid is found dead in his bedroom, which had been locked from the inside. His strangled corpse is discovered on his bed, facing upward. 4 Wara Ningyo are found nailed to the walls of the room. Despite asphyxiation being the cause of death, there are cuts from a knife on bridesmaid's chest, made post-mortem. The victim's shirt was changed after the mutilation, leaving only droplets of blood behind. The cut marks look like Roman numerals. A man is found under a bed and crawls out, their name being Ryuzuki. He observes the rest of the room and finds that volumes 9 and 4 of Bridesmaid's collection of the Akazukin Chacha manga series are missing, despite the bookshelf being full. Ryuzuki is convinced that no one in their right mind would read Akazukin Chacha out of order, even going as far as saying that this would likely pass as evidence in court. Ryuzuki tells me that there are 192 and 184 pages in volumes 4 and 9 of Akazukin Chacha, which adds up to 376. The Roman numerals on Bridesmaid's body are theorized to coordinate with pages of the book, Ryuzuki suggesting that larger numbers may wrap around. After listening to Ryuzuki for a while, he seems to realize a lot of the patterns that the killer wants us to look for. I would be suspicious of Ryuzuki since he seems to be extremely good at finding the clues that the killer set up. I would notify L of this strange person so he can potentially look into him. In the meantime, I can have my boyfriend, Ray Penber, secretly follow Ryuzuki around. If Ryuzuki is the one orchestrating these murders, the Ray will find out about it and we would catch him in the act. As well as this, I would observe the method in which the killer entered and left the building. If the locks appear to be untampered with, then we can either assume that the person had made copies of the keys or can pick a lock very well. This would also lead me to believe that the killer had to have been observing their victims for some time in order to pull something like this off. Because of this observation, we might be able to conclude how the killer entered and left the area.
Hey, welcome back.
What a day.
Ray, what's the matter? Something happened, didn't it? I've never heard you sigh like that.
Yeah.
After telling Elle about Ryuzuki, he comes back with information that he is also a hired consultant to help investigate the murders by the family of the victim. I would still be suspicious of Ryuzuki and still have him follow just in case. While Ray is secretly following Ryuzuki, he would see him attempt to murder his next victim. Ryuzuki would most likely have all the materials he needed to continue the murders on himself when committing the murders. So we would catch him in the act, attempting to murder his next victim, and be able to have evidence that he specifically is the one connected to the other murders. From this we can conclude the Los Angeles B murder case. And that's how I would beat the Los Angeles B murder case from Death Note. Do you think there's a better way to do it? Let me know in the comments.